Welcome, everybody. It's your man Izzy here on the Red Zone Report, brought to you by Monster Energy, right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Facebook networks. Please, everybody, enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Redzone Report. As I said before, the intro music. I'm your host, Izzy, right here on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. I see I got some commenters already. Kim Boomhauer. Hey, Izzy. What's up, Kim? And Sandra L. King. Happy Sunday. Izzy, it is a happy Sunday indeed. The Patriots lost. The Dolphins, of course, we beat them. The Jets won, but, I kind of expected them to win. It is what it is. But the Buffalo Bills are on top of the AFC East. And the show is brought to you by Monster Energy. Feed the beast, baby. Anyways, we here at Built in Buffalo hope that Tua Tagovailoa is okay. We hope that, whatever decision he makes is his own. It's not, something that is forced upon him by anybody outside of himself and his family. Right? Those should be the only people that have discussions with him about continuing or not continuing his career. And so I hope that he makes whatever decision is the best decision for himself, his health, his family, his children. Godspeed to him. Hopefully he's okay. However, that is the disclaimer. Before he got hurt, Tua turned the ball over, and it was rough. There you go, Sandra. Yep, prayers to him and his family. I hope he's okay. I don't wish injuries, concussions, life-changing decisions on any player, even if I hate their team. I don't hate Tua. I think Tua's a good guy. I don't think he's that great a quarterback. I think against bad teams, he looks excellent. Against the Buffalo Bills, who were not favorites in this game. We were actually underdogs in this game. I don't know why we were underdogs in this game. I guess it was their high-powered offense going against our lowly defense that returned only 8 starters until Tua Bernard went hurt. And then it was 7 starters, and I don't see what's so surprising. By the end of the day, we only had 6 starters from last year on the field, and Daquan Jones, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Von Miller, Douglas, and Benford. Right? We had a backup slot corner in there. We had 2 new safeties, both of which who did play for us last year, but they weren't starters. And then Terrell Bernard goes down, and Balin Spector's in there, and he had a pretty good game. And so we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills more than the Dolphins because we did more than the Dolphins. But the game itself was statistically lopsided. The Dolphins outgained us rushing and passing. And so, yeah, it was exciting because of the scoring, but we didn't move the ball a whole lot, and I'm fine with that. The Buffalo Bills did what they had to do to win the game. And the defense showed up with 5 new players out there from last year. So it didn't matter who was out there on defense. The Buffalo Bills coaching of the defense was huge. It was huge. I'm going to go to some of your comments here. Sandra, I was talking about Tua, said it's a dangerous game. It is, and you choose to play, you choose not to. On any given play, you could get injured. You could have a life-threatening circumstance. You could have just a bump or a bruise. I mean, it's a car accident every single time you take the field. And so, you take the bumps and bruises as they come. John Robert, Buffalo Bills the Bills Mafia has raised $18,000 for Tua's foundation. That's beautiful. We've done that every single time he's gotten hurt, especially against us. When Milano, shoved him and he fell down, and Buffalo Bills fans, we raise money for them. That's what we do. We're the city of good neighbors. So, donating to Tua's foundation, it's a wonderful thing to do. All right. Izzy, Thursday's game just shows the Bills are a classy bunch. We could have buried them after the Tua injury, but we won with class. Yeah. We basically just ran the ball out. Like, there was no real threat from Skylar Thompson. None of the Dolphins receivers had 50 yards or more, if I'm correct. Let me go ahead and look at the Bills versus Dolphins box score. Devin Achane and Jonnu Smith. So no wide receiver for them had over 50 yards. Their leading receiver was Devin Achane with 7 receptions, 69 yards and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 6 receptions, 53 yards, all that crap he was talking. Jalen Waddle, 4 for 41. Tyreek Hill, 3 for 24. So Tyreek Hill had less than 10 yards per reception. The Buffalo Bills defense went out there and did their damn thing. And so, yeah, we went out there, and after that, we basically just put James Cook on the sideline, said, Ray Davis, go out there and run the ball. So, let's drain this clock. Ray Davis went out there, got us 30 yards, and there you go. That's the game. So we ended it. So Miami with Tua has an abysmal record against teams with winning records. They do. And part of that is they don't have a good offensive line. Their line's garbage, and that's why Tua is always in danger. And then he ran on that play, and he put himself in danger by not sliding. And so I don't like to say it's his fault. But Hamlin didn't hit him. He hit Hamlin. So the hit wasn't anything special either. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, that hit was so crazy. And it was like, no, oh my God, Tua's on the ground. What just happened? Kind of like when Hamlin went down. When Hamlin went down, no one thought the hit was anything special. Then Hamlin went down, and you're like, oh snap, Hamlin's down. Sometimes the most plain Jane, not special, ordinary football play results in something crazy. And, that's just what it is. You got to deal with that and accept that, the game is not for the faint of heart. This is a tough game for tough people. Some people are built for it. Some people are not. Tua looks like he may not. See, that's because we are the city of good neighbors. You damn right. See, I think everybody but our run defense was good, but A-Chain has a lot of burst, so he's hard to stop. So it's hard to put a hand on A-Chain. Like, I expected them to be able to run the ball on us a little bit, but even running the ball, they only had 139 on the ground. A-Chain, 22 for 96, 4.4 per carry. Tyreek had 1 carry for 12 yards. Skylar Thompson, 1 for 4. Jalen Waddle, 1 for 4. Jalen Wright, 5 for 4. Alec Ingold, 2 for 2. That stop Dorian Williams and Balen Spector laid on him was nasty. And then Tua Tagovailoa, 2 carries for 17 yards, which I saved him for last because obviously we know what happened there. And we all know basically what he did in that game. But still want to make sure I add it all up for you guys. They ran the ball decently. But, yeah, Achan's a good back. So if you have him in fantasy, go ahead and keep him in fantasy because that's going to be their offense from this point forward. So, what about the both crap penalties on Arizona and then they did the same thing to Josh Allen? The refs suck, man. The refs suck. I hate that it's a reality, but it is. And it's just something that we're going to have to accept as fans. Granted, the NFL does need to do something to try and fix it. Until they do, like, what are we going to do? Nothing we can do. We can complain, we can petition, but it is what it is. So, no receiver room, no egos, just dogs. Just dogs. They're out there blocking, catching their balls. Shakir just out there dependable, catching everything thrown his way. This is the second game in a row where every single pass that was thrown to Khalil Shakir was a catch. Five targets, 5 receptions, 54 yards. He is a first down machine. He may not be a touchdown machine, but he is a first down machine. Khalil Shakir's his season is going to be pretty good. I think he'll have between 950 to, might I say 1,000, 50 yards, like 7 or 8 touchdowns. But his first down numbers is where he's going to make his money. Just watch. So next man up, man. Got it. Way it's got to be. Yep. I heard a rumor that Cam Newton was trying out for the Dolphins, but that they called him in for a workout. I don't know how true that is, so I have to look. So he ran into Hamlin's chest. He really ran into his bicep. If you watch the video from the right side of the field from Hamlin's perspective, he kind of hits Hamlin's right arm and chest. It looked like most of the impact hit his arm, but still, he then falls to the ground, hits his head on the ground. And, it's a problem. So I actually thought Tua injured his neck. I thought he did too a little bit, and maybe he did, but you can still concuss, the back of the head. See, Bills are a different team than last year, and they are all contributing, and we haven't been predictable offensively. We are going to be playing a desperate Jacksonville team Monday. Can't wait. They can be desperate all they want. The Buffalo Bills, one thing I can say that I have not seen from the Buffalo Bills this season yet in the 2 games we played, and one of them was very close with the Cardinals, who, by the way, beat the hell out of the Rams 41-10 today. So they're looking pretty for real. That explains last week. But I haven't seen any panic from this Buffalo Bills team. I've seen no panic. They've all been playing sound ball. They've had some moments where they've missed assignments. They've, had some issues here and there, but nothing I can say we're like, oh, look, he looks rattled. Not at all. I can only imagine Hamlin's emotions after that play. Dude, imagine that. Imagine that. Like you're there, you're finally back, you've gotten over the mental hurdle that you had to go through from going into cardiac arrest on the field, being resuscitated. You go through an entire year where you do basically a world tour and go see everybody. From he was on The Masked Singer, he was on WWE, he did everything, and he was the highlight of everything. And then he went to the season last year, was like the 5th safety on the team, special teams, and now he's got his mind right. He's playing good ball. He goes in for a tackle. Tua dives, hits him, and then Tua's lifeless on the ground in front of him. Like, what? Like, why me? Why did it have to be me? That's if you're in Hamlin's head, you got to be thinking like, why the hell was this me? Why did it have to be me that made contact with Tua, and then he goes down? That's crazy, man. That's absolutely nuts. So I feel for the guy. I feel for the guy. So, yep, selfless crew looks great. Indeed. Let's go wide receivers. Daniel Gary's back in the building. Welcome back, Daniel. Go Bills. See, this is a team and comes throughout adversity. Yeah. Yeah, they do. See, Izzy, you want KC or Cincy to win? 4 minutes left. Cincy is up by 2. I want Cincy to win because that levels them out, right? It brings them and the Chiefs to have a AFC loss. The Bengals lost to who last week? Who beat the Bengals last week? I got ESPN open here. Let me go ahead and look at that. NFL schedule, as they say in the UK. Week 1. Nope. Week 1. They lost to some bums, too, if I remember correctly. The Patriots. Wow, how did I not remember that? They lost to the Patriots, who then lost today to Seattle. So do with that what you will. So James Cook and Ray Davis helped give Josh a break. They did. Look, Josh only had to throw the ball, 19 times? He completed 13 of them. Passer rating of 107. Threw 1 touchdown. He still has yet to throw an interception on the year, so the interception machine isn't interceptioning, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah, Josh is just basically having to go back out there and just have fun. I'm so glad that he has help now. It may not have come in having a Stephon Diggs who would then force you to pass the ball more because he's Stephon Diggs and I need my target so I can get my money. And no, they're out there with the selfless group of guys who can block, they can catch, they don't drop many passes, they don't get open as well as Diggs did, but who cares? Like, you have 5 receivers out there, including your tight ends and your running backs, who can make a difference. So I'm all for it. See, 2-0 ourselves in the AFC East. That's right, 2-0 in the AFC East. We are on top of the AFC East, and if the Bengals win today, I believe that puts us on top of the AFC. Let me go ahead and look at the standings here. Conference. Right now, yeah, the Buffalo Bills are on top of the conference, tied at 2-0 with the Los Angeles Chargers. the Texans win today, they may jump up there too. And the Steelers, actually, a lot of these games have been played already, so I don't know why they're not there. The Texans play at 8:30. The Steelers are still playing right now, I think. They're playing the Broncos. Chiefs are still playing. The Patriots lost. Yep, okay, there we go. So the Patriots lost. Jets won. Browns won. The Raiders, man. What a game that was. We'll go over that too. Let's see. Ty Johnson caught a nice pass. He did. KC had 2 minutes, 35 seconds to score a field goal. I'm indifferent about Tua's situation. The NFLPA should intervene. After all, he hasn't done anything. He won nothing. Pretty irrelevant and overrated, in my opinion. Hey, man, look, you can have your opinion of Tua as the player, right? When you talk about his concussions, we're talking about the human being, right? We're separating the two, right? And that's just what that is. We separate the two, Tua from, turn the ball over, and that's it. So not worried at all that Key Cole not getting a lot yet. No, not worried about Keon Coleman's touches. They'll come when it's time for him to get them. They'll come when it's time for him to get them. But back into the game. I wanted to make sure I caught up on your comments, guys, because this is an interactive show. So, the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, 13-19, 139, 7.3 average per pass, 1 touchdown, passer rating 107, QBR 78.3. James Cook had 11 carries for 78 yards, 7.1 per carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground. His longest run was 49 yards, which was a beautiful run. Poyer had no chance on that run. Ray Davis, 9 carries, 29 yards. Khalil Shakir, 1 carry for 2. It was an end around that didn't really work out. It happens. Khalil Shakir, though, 5 receptions, 54 yards. Ty Johnson, 1 for 33. Kincaid, 4 for 33. James Cook, 1 for 17 and a touchdown. So, if you look at the touches, James Cook had 12 touches. Every 4 touches, he had a touchdown. That's craziness. And the one thing that happened was Josh had a fumble, but he recovered it. And the fumble was, I believe, the ball hit him in his hands on a snap. He bent down, picked it up, and then continued to play. Damar Hamlin had 10 tackles. 3 of our guys had 10 tackles. Damar Hamlin, Balin Spector, and Dorian Williams. Damar had 8 solo tackles. Balin had 7, and Dorian had 5. The Buffalo Bills dominated this game. Jamarcus Russell, 2 interceptions, 56 yards, and a touchdown. Christian Benford, 1 interception. Ray Davis had a kick return for 25 yards. And the sacks. The sacks were lovely too. Freaking Von Miller had himself a sack. Ed Oliver had himself a sack. Surprised that Tua didn't get hurt on one of those rather than the hit from Hamlin, because he got hit by bigger dudes. But Von is back. I see that, John Robert. I was telling people, man. It takes you about a year after the ACL to really mentally get over the hurdle. I don't think last year had anything to do with anything physical. I think it was mental, man. You got to get past, can I trust it? And, he can't. Or he couldn't last year. He just couldn't get past the hurdle. I'm going to say if he did trust it, I'm going to say he would have got hurt again. I'm saying that he just couldn't trust it in his own mind. But fact is, he's balling out. He's got 2 sacks in 2 games. And Greg Rousseau, from what I understand, is leading the NFL in sacks. I go to stats. Yeah, Rousseau's got 3 sacks. Alontae Taylor for the Saints has 3 sacks, but they crushed the Cowboys there, 44-19. Yay! And then Von Miller's 4th with 2. NFL-wide, we have 2 defensive ends or 2 defensive players who are top 5 in sacks. This is a beautiful thing, guys. We have a pass rush. We have an older guy who wants to win in the Super Bowl with another team, who is now healthy. We have a younger guy who next year is his contract year, and he wants to really make a difference so he can get his money. And if he keeps playing like this, I'm down. That gunpowder and gasoline is starting to work out. Now let's look at the Dolphins stat line. Right, the Dolphins stat line this game. Tua was 17-25. Solid percentage, but only 5.8 per pass, 145 yards. His QBR was 17.7. His passer rating was 56.7. Ouch. All that firepower on that team. And all we had to do was bump Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and it basically nullified him for the whole game. Skylar Thompson went out there, 8 of 14 for 80 yards, passer rating of 73.5, and a QBR of 0.7. 0.7. Devin Achane, 22 carries, 96 yards, 4.4 per carry, no touchdowns there. Tua, 2 for 17. Already went over all that. Devin Achane, 7 receptions for 69 yards, 9.9 per reception, 1 touchdown. Man, did they have any sacks? No sacks. They had 4 tackles for a loss against us. Their best tackler was David Long Jr. Not surprised. Guy can play. I do like him as a player. I don't like him as a Dolphin because I don't like the Dolphins. They can kick boulders for all I care. There we go. Look at some positivity. UB graduate Ingram had 2 interceptions. He did, and he took 1 to the house. He house called 1. It was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing. And who would have thought, right? Like, people were like, he's on the bubble, right? He's CB4 basically, right? Turns out he's like CB3. And he goes out there and he balls out like that and now leads the NFL in interceptions. It's not even a joke, but earlier today when I was looking at it, he led the league in interceptions, and currently he still does with 2. Jamarcus Ingram, undrafted prospect from University of Buffalo, who showed up to practice one day, made the practice squad, sat there for a year, now is a player who is a third cornerback on a team, and now that guy is balling out on his reps. The Buffalo Bills know how to find undrafted talent. The Buffalo Bills know how to get talent and coach them up. And so, yeah, that's what this is. The Buffalo Bills have now picked up talent that no one drafted. Cam Lewis, Jamarcus Ingram, Levi Wallace, you name them. Guys who were undrafted. Joe Andreessen now, he's going to have a year to chill out with the Buffalo Bills and hopefully earn some snaps later on in his career. Because eventually Matt Milano's going to be gone, and Dorian Williams or Terrell Bernard, with the history that we're having with linebackers, getting hurt. Joe Andreessen might see the field sometime. Especially now that Terrell Bernard's hurt. I don't know if he's going to be able to play next week. If he is, no worries. But if he's not, I'm comfortable with Joe Andreessen because this coaching staff knows how to coach freaking defense. Mahomes back to pass. He's scrambling. He throws it up and batted away. The Bengals are going to win. Oh, flag on the play. Crack this monster. Make sure you say Kansas City. The Kansas City Queeps. Cam Lewis is doing great filling in for Taron. He is. Cam Lewis is doing wonderful. You're not noticing him on the field like that unless he unless he's making a tackle, but not noticing him in coverage. Pretty good. Ah, damn it. PI. See, I don't believe the NFL can afford to have another Tua concussion catastrophe at this point. Here's the thing. If the doctors clear him and if he wants to play, he's under contract and they don't let him play, like the league doesn't let him play, he can take him to litigation. So it's going to be up to him. I don't like it any more than you do. I've had some concussions in my life. It's part of my disability through the military. I had 5 traumatic brain injuries. It's a real thing. He's had 4 now. He's 27. I had all mine between the ages of 19 and 30. It's rough. It messes with your head. It messes with your head. See, it's about a lot more than what Tua wants to do. The NFL can't let this guy kill himself or turn himself into a veggie. Like, What are they going to do? Like the Dolphins can say, we're going to bench you. We're not going to play you. Then they're blowing their money, and money's not everything, but what are they going to do? What are they going to do? I'll take this knee brace off for a minute. There we go. I don't know about you guys, but if you ever banged your knee on a coffee table, like a really sturdy one, it sucks. I got a coffee table. It's wood, stone, and metal. That hurt. It still hurts. So no, he can't. Izzy, the NFLPA is basically a union and can make players ineligible. The NFLPA can make players ineligible. So if you're talking about the NFLPA, that's a different thing. I'm talking about the NFL itself. So we'll see what happens there. I'm praying that he retires because he needs to look out for his best interest. He got paid. It's like $97 million. If he retires, they got to pay him $97 million. It actually accelerates that money, which means that they're going to have to basically gut the team next year outside of the contracts that they already have. That or trade everybody. And then start from scratch. Not that I'm worried about the Dolphins. I'm not worried about them at all. We've beaten them, what was it, 13 out of the last 15 times now, or 14 out of the last 16, something like that. Not worried about them at all. So this is really going to be something that could crush the Dolphins, but they paid them. They made a decision, and they paid them. So we'll see what happens. See, field goal try for the win. Let's see. I hope not. I hope not. I hope they lose. Oh, they win. Okay, never mind. You're ahead of me. My stream must have locked up at one point and is behind, but it's all good. If they win, they win. But yeah, like Tua Tagovailoa needs to go home, man. Go home. Like he's a young man. He's 27. It's hard. And he may have regrets later by not staying, but dude, go home. It's not worth it. It's not worth your health. It's not worth. I'm going to bring up a name, and you guys may remember this guy. You probably do because he played for the Patriots as well as the Chargers. There's Junior Seau. He had massive CTE, and he took his own life. Don't know if it was because he was suffering. I don't know if it was because of some mental illness that came from all the CTE, the concussions, the traumatic brain injuries, but that guy ended up taking his own life. And so I don't want to speculate and say it was because of the CTE and the mental health stuff, but it was mental health stuff. You don't take your own life unless you have mental health stuff or in a moment of absolute grief. You do so, like if you lose a kid or something. Unless something like that happens, you're not doing that. I just hope that Tua is okay. So we'll put that there. We'll leave it there. Yeah, biggest of a monster. And try and pray the guy makes the right decision. But got to do what you got to do. And as a man, he's a man. He's gonna have to do what he has to do. Yeah, one of my good friends was in the NFL, has CTE issues, and it one of the saddest things to watch. His struggles. It's truly horrible. I heard a lot about that too from a pro boxer. I met his wife. She stopped by one of my customers' houses. I was at work. And her husband was Jake LaMotta. And Jake LaMotta, like, he was a hard-hitting boxer way back in the day. He was old. I don't know if he's alive still. I don't think he is. But he was a hard-hitting boxer, but he took too many hits to the head too. And they said he didn't have Parkinson's, but like he wasn't all there. And they said he was like that for years, decades. And it's like, that's sad. But, that's the path he chose. Tua's got a choice. Now, we've broken down the Buffalo Bills and the Dolphins a little bit. Let's dig into it a little bit, right? James Cook absolutely owned the Dolphins this game. I don't know what it is about him and playing at Hard Rock that he plays as good as he does. 3 touchdowns? Come on, James. Come on, buddy. You didn't have to do him that dirty. We only beat him by 3 touchdowns. So, yeah. James Cook went off in this game. That touchdown pass from Josh Allen to James Cook was a thing of beauty. It was beautiful. I mean, we had freaking Curtis Samuel in the backfield. He ran like a squiggle, went right, then he went left, and then he was way back. Defense was watching him. James Cook sneaks right out. Josh Allen hits him with the pass. James Cook cuts up the sideline. Touchdown. Bills get the ball again. They're in the red zone. Here's the report on it. James Cook goes and then runs one in from like the 4 or 5 yard line and busts through the defense to get in there. Granted, the offensive line did a lot of that work, but he just went through like there was no issues. There was no issues. And then we get the ball again. And to go up, what was it? To go up to 31, I believe it was. The final score for the Buffalo Bills, I believe it was. It was either that one or the Ingram one. I believe it was the Cook one. Takes it 49 yards, untouched, up the middle. One cuts it to the sideline. Jordan Poyer can't get there. And he just strolls on to the 4 and then flips his way into the end zone. The shining star may be James Cook, but the unsung heroes are the Buffalo Bills offensive line, which look better than they've ever looked under Sean McDermott. Hands down, bar none, it's a thing of beauty. The offensive line is out there dropping hammers on people, and the penalties went down this week. We didn't see as much undisciplined stuff. Josh didn't get hit nearly as much. And he was just back there just, all right, 5 yards, first down. Oh, Shakir, here you go. The O-line is playing so good, and Daniel Gary said it right here. Playing so well. I am so happy. Only one flag, damn you, Spencer Brown. Yeah, oh my gosh, Spencer Brown. What was it, a false start? I think it was a false start. Because I don't remember any holding penalties on the Buffalo Bills. And it was just, it's wild to see the Bills with such an O-line, because I haven't seen an O-line this good since the 90s. Not since they were blocking for Jim Kelly back in the 90s have I seen the Buffalo Bills have an offensive line that has been this productive and this good. Never. Not once. That is Super Bowl caliber right there. That offensive line right there. Super Bowl caliber. Madden needs to give him some respect, because they got Osiris Torrance is a 69 in the game. That's some BS right there. That boy can block. That big boy can block. Also, David Edwards, he's a 72 in the game. Help my boys out, Madden. Dang. Keep taking sacks. Granted, I'm pretty good, so it don't matter that much, but still. Like the Buffalo Bills offense, I'm not concerned. People are like, you guys don't have receivers? Or it's like, yeah, we do. They're just all somewhat average, maybe some a little bit above, some a little bit below. You're a little bit above average are going to be your Shakirs and your Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel, and then you're below, maybe just a little bit below or at average, or Mac Hollins, and I'm missing one. Mac Hollins. Yeah, lost it. Anyways, like, come on, bro. Like, to me, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me. I'm gonna look that up now, because that's bothering the hell out of me. Buffalo Bills depth chart. Curtis Samuel, Keon Coleman, Mac Hollins, Khalil Shakir, Marquez, Valdez, Scantling. Yeah. I'd say our worst receiver is average. Everybody else is either above average or in between there. Yeah. I'm not concerned because as the year goes on and the offense develops more and starts progressing and they start gaining trust in each other and they start trusting the system more and making it work for them, I think that this offense is going to be something to behold later on. Right now, it doesn't have to be. Like the defense beat the Dolphins. Our offense didn't do much of anything other than James Cook. The defense did the beating of them. I mean, if we didn't score a single offensive touchdown, we tie that game, go to overtime, probably kick a field goal and win it. But yeah, it was a masterclass on defense. And then James Cook was like, I'm home. I'm going to show off. I'm going to do it. The offensive line was wonderful. The defensive line, they had a pretty decent day Thursday. It was a solid day. Can't complain. And then you have the linebackers. Dude, Terrell Bernard goes down. Matt Milano's already out for the year. Dorian Williams is in there for him. And then Valen Spector goes in there, and then they play to that level. They play that well. Alec Ingold, like a 300-pound fullback, gets the ball to get the first down. Usually that's automatic. Automatic. And Dorian Williams shot that gap and hit that dude. Like nailed him. Like an arrow on a deer, just wham, put him right the hell down. He might have kept going a little bit more if Dorian Williams was the only one who hit him, but Valen Spector was there too. And I saw the comment by Spin. Milano's not out for the year, not officially. He'll be out for most of the year, if not the year. So we're teetering on that. I hope he's not. I hope he's back. Izzy, you have more faith in this wide receiver room than I do. I need to see it first. Hey, I'm with you. I need to see it too. But right now, we're not relying on the receivers. Right now, we're relying on Josh Allen to steady the ship on offense, James Cook, Ray Davis, Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir, and then the defense. It is what it is, man. We'll see what happens. It's a long season, baby. It's a long season. See, Dorian is a brick wall. Dorian is not a brick wall. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Dorian is the green turtle shell from Mario Kart. He hits you, you stop freaking moving. He's a hammer. See, what's your Bills record prediction for the end of the season? I say 12-5. I'd say I'm about there. I'm about 12-5, maybe 13-4. I'm not really impressed with a lot of the teams in the AFC right now. The freaking Ravens lost the freaking Raiders. Stop it. See, I read Terrell Bernard's out for 3 to 6 weeks. Well, looks like they can put him on IR then for 4. Just call 4 to be safe, put him on IR, and go re-sign Deion Jones. That way you have another linebacker just in case something happens to Andreessen, Valen Spector, or Dorian Williams. That's what I would do. You also have Nicholas Moreau, but he's coming off an injury too. Go get you a guy who's healthy. Go get Deion Jones back. He knows the defense. And he still has speed. He may not be the guy he was in Atlanta, but he still has speed. I'd go get him back right away. Put the rubber on IR for 4 weeks. You can then make a decision later on who you're going to keep. See, how many 3rd and longs have we had? I don't know. I'm not trying to count that right now, man. Come on. It says 20-0. Golly. Spin. See, I think we're pretty good this year. I don't really miss Diggs. I don't miss Diggs either. But, we haven't had to go through adversity yet either. So we'll see what happens when that finally comes. Well, we did kind of against Arizona, didn't we? So, and they just beat the dog shit out of the Rams. Still trust the process. You damn right. See, our defense still can't stop 3rd and a mile. They sure did. You missed the game. They only allowed 10 points. See, supposedly I'm a bandwagon because I'm a Bills fan and nobody likes Bills. Man, don't let nobody tell you nothing. They can say it all they want, but don't let none of that bother you. If you're a Bills fan, you're a Bills fan. If you were a Dolphins fan, or a Patriots fan or Eagles fan, who gives a shit? Like your team is your team. Don't let nobody tell you what you are. Now, you're a bandwagon fan if you jumped on the bandwagon after they drafted Josh Allen, sure. But, if you've been with them the whole time with Josh Allen and you continue being a fan after he's gone, not a bandwagon fan anymore, right? You may have never had a team before, just got into football. Oh, I'm a Bills fan. So what? Don't let nobody tell you nothing crazy like that. So he helped the Bills, but he was toxic. He became toxic. He was not toxic off the rip. Right? He wasn't toxic off the jump, and now he is, or he was. When things didn't go his way and he started to be utilized less, that's when he became toxic, and he made things shake, as he said. Well, we'll see what happens when the Texans get shaken loose, this year for the first time, and see if he starts getting in C.J. Stroud's ear. See, Bills defense can't stop a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 10, but a 3rd and 18 just can't handle it. Well, okay, I see what you mean. See, Jacksonville will be a good test. Maybe. Thoughts on Hamlin's play so far this year? Hamlin's played pretty well this year. Like, I got no complaints about DeMar Hamlin's play this year. I'm going to go ahead and pull up his PFF real quick. I know not everybody is a PFF person, but if you take PFF for what it is, PFF is basically how good you were at doing your assignment on that play, right? Or within the structure of the game. Not anything that has to do with anybody else's assignments, but your assignments. So as of right now, PFF has him rated a 58.5, so about average. Run defensive grade of 77.0, so he's getting there. Pass rush grade 59.4, who cares? His coverage grade is a little concerning. You pull up his premium stats and see how he did game to game. So against the Cardinals, it looks like that's only counting his Cardinals stuff, because against the Dolphins, his run defense grade was a 76.7. His tackling was an 89.5. Coverage of 52.1. I didn't really see him give anything up in coverage, but then again, if the ball doesn't go there and he misses his assignment, he misses his assignment. So he's playing sound football for a strong safety. We'll say that. I think he's doing fine as a strong safety. He's not doing great. He's not doing poorly. I just feel for him about that hit. We are whooping Jags. Yeah, I think so too. See, Jacksonville will be playing all out for their season. They can't go 0-3. Won't be an easy game. Y'all talking now? Okay. One sec. And I'm back. I guess my son's home. But it's a zoo in this house right now. But yeah, no, I don't think the Jacksonville game is anything to really worry about. Trevor Lawrence hasn't done anything to wow me. Their defense has been pretty good, but our offensive line has been very good too. So I see the Buffalo Bills doing just fine in offense. I'm pretty happy with everything. I'm pretty happy with how the season's going so far. We may have to break out some more tricks to beat Jacksonville than we did to beat the Dolphins. But we know the Dolphins, right? We're familiar with them. So we know what they're going to do. They think they know what we're going to do. Clearly they don't. I think the Buffalo Bills will beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. (27-17). 27-17. That's my prediction right now. Once we finish up and we go, into actual, dissecting the game, my prediction may change. But this is my way too early prediction. It's not even Monday yet. Next Monday is the game. We'll see. I love the fact that the Buffalo Bills got the extra day and got to play on a Monday after playing on a Thursday, because very short time, 4 days till your next game, right? And you get 11. Love it. Man, oh man. Let's go ahead and break down some of these other games that happened this weekend, and the division, right? That's going to be important for us. Scores. So the Bears play the Texans at 8:30 tonight. The Cowboys and the Saints faced off in Dallas, and the Saints mollywopped them 44-19. Dak Prescott, had 293 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. But Alvin Kamara, 20 carries, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dog's still going. They had to get shut up. All right. Payback from London. There we go. I like it. I said, love having the extra time from Thursday till Monday. Yep. And a whole extra day. Jacksonville's trash. Dallas got crushed. Dak screwed Dallas on that contract. Yeah, Dallas screwed Dallas on that contract. They could have traded him. Trade him. Get you an early pick. Someone's going to give back that money. Why'd it have to be you? You know what? Good thing it was you because I don't like the Cowboys anyway. I don't like them. So see, this game was perfect timing for Allen to have an easy don't do too much with his injured hand. And the mini bye week allows the hand to heal for an extended amount of time without stressing it. Agreed. See, Dak was in playoff mode, sucking ass. God damn. Wasn't happy with the KC win. I don't think any of us were, but you know what? It's up to us to beat them. Can't count on somebody else to beat them. It's up to us to beat them. I have faith in this team, so here we go. We'll do it. Just like Thanos. I'll do it myself. If you don't shut up. Dog wants to interview. Hey. Come here, Kiki. Come here. This is Kita. She is a Chewini. Hi, Mama. Oh. Anyway. There you go. Lay down, Kita. That's one of my 4 dogs who are all flipping out, probably because either my son got home or there's a cat outside flipping out. Yeah, she's a Chihuahua and Dachshund, so she's a Chiweenie. She's Mexican, so it's a good girl. And then my old lady's here. Hey, baby. But yeah, it's a good day for the Buffalo Bills fans, if you hate the Cowboys, because I know most of us do because of those 2 Super Bowls back in the 90s, but it is what it is. The Buccaneers beat the Lions. The Buccaneers looking for real this year. 20-16 in Detroit. Baker Mayfield ran the touchdown in. I know he had the touchdown pass. Baker was 12 of 19, 185. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a great day for him, but then 5 carries, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Who knew Baker had it in him? Well, my buddy did. He's from Texas and is very familiar with Baker Mayfield's play. Chris Godwin went off in that game. 7 catches, 117 for 16.7 per catch, a touchdown. Jared Goff had a good game, 34 from 55, 307, but he had 2 interceptions and no touchdowns, so not that good a game. Jahmyr Gibbs played well. David Montgomery, he got me a touchdown in fantasy. Thank you, David. And Amon-Ra St. Brown gave me a good game, 11 receptions, 119. That's good for my fantasy team. But, yeah, other than that, the Lions, they weren't able to protect their dirt. The Packers went and beat the Colts. Malik Willis, got himself a win. Wasn't very pretty, but a win is a win. The Jets, they went out there and they beat the Titans in Tennessee. Good away win for the Jets. Will Levis apparently outpassed Aaron Rodgers. Let me go ahead and click that real quick. Aaron Rodgers, 18-30, 176, 2 touchdowns. Solid game. Tennessee, Will Levis, 19-28, 192, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. All right. Breece Hall, 14 for 62, 4.4. Not really impressed with that. Less impressed with Tony Pollard, 17 for 62. Braylon Allen, 7 carries, 33 for a touchdown. That's pretty good day for him. Then Breece Hall and Braylon Allen both had receiving touchdowns. So the Jets are starting to pick themselves up. They're starting to find their pieces and put their puzzle together. So it's nice. It's nice. See, my cats are perked up. He can't. He can hear the dogs, but can't see them. I have a cat too, but he's in my son's room. He chills in there until my son gets home. So I have Cook, Kamara, St. Brown in one of my dude, that is freaking crazy. Fantasy wise, like that is crazy. That lineup: James Cook, Alvin Kamara, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're killing that league right now, man. You're killing that league right now. Scroll down a little more. The Niners lost to the Vikings in Minnesota. The Vikings are 2-0. Sam Darnold had himself a solid day. I'm going to pull that up right there. So Brock Purdy went 28 of 36. Pretty good. 319, one touchdown, but one interception. Sam Darnold went 17 of 26, 268, two touchdowns, one interception. Man, that was a pretty good day by Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold making a little bit of career resurgence is pretty insane and pretty sweet because he's not a Jet, right? So I can now say good things about Sam Darnold, without it harming my Buffalo Bills. 17 to 26. The quarterbacks from the 2018 draft class are starting to get better. Baker Mayfield looking like a winner down there in Tampa. Sam Darnold playing winning football in Minnesota. They're in the NFC. I could care less about it now. But Lamar Jackson stunk it up today. He stunk it up today bad. Real bad. Jordan Mason for the Niners had another 100-yard game. 20 carries for literally 100 yards and a touchdown. Everybody else running the ball for them sucked. Brock Purdy, 2 for 12. That's all right. Isaac Guerrero, 1 carry, 0 yards. Deebo Samuel, 2 carries for minus 10 yards. Then you go over to the Minnesota side, 10 carries, 82 yards for Ty Chandler. And Sam Darnold, 5 for 32. What is up with these guys who aren't traditionally runners? Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield out there running the ball. Deebo Samuel, 8 receptions for 110 yards, no touchdowns. George Kittle, 7 for 76, 1 touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 4 for 133 and a touchdown. Nice. Niners went out there and got their shit pushed in by the Vikings, which is crazy because last week the Niners looked damn near unbeatable, but today they looked very, very normal. Then the Seahawks, who I predicted to lose to the Patriots, right? Hear me out. My prediction was the Patriots would win this by 3. They lost it by 3 in overtime. I had the Patriots win this game because the Seahawks had to come all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast. The Patriots went out there and dominated the Bengals. I thought that they had a chance. They did have a chance. Just didn't pull through. The Giants. Oh, also Geno Smith threw for 327 yards on them, so do with that what you will. And DK had 10 catches for 129. 10 catches now. Like 20 years ago, 10 catches in a game was a monster game. It seems to be kind of the norm at this point right now. Like there's like 5 dudes had 10 receptions today. Another one, freaking Malik Neighbors, 10 receptions, 127 and 1 touchdown for the Giants in a loss, 21-18 to the Commanders. For some reason, I feel like it was all field goals that game. I'm willing to bet it was because the Giants' scoreline was 6 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter, 6 points in the fourth quarter. The Commanders, 3 points, 6 points, 6 points, 6 points. That screams all field goals to me. That's crazy. That's wild. See, Kittle got carted off the field. I didn't watch the game. I'm looking at the scores. My wife was downstairs. She just had surgery on Friday. She had to have her gallbladder removed. And so she was downstairs watching that game, telling me all about it. And I was like, that game sucks right now because I'm watching 2 teams that are within, 3 or 4 points. And she's like, the game's kind of funny, though. And I'm like, I don't watch football for funny. I watch football for football. If something happens during a good football game, that's funny. Otherwise, if someone's getting their butts whooped, I don't care. And it was like 17-3 at the time or something like that. And I was like, See, John is overrated. John who? All the best to your wife. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. She needs the prayers and the support. Let's see. Other scores today. Chargers played the Panthers. They beat the hell out of them 26-3. That was unnecessary. That was very unnecessary to do him like that, but hey, you did it. And the Browns beat the Jags 18-13. Trevor Lawrence, 220 yards, and that's it, I guess. They're not looking great. The Raiders, Gardner Minshew goes out there and outduels Lamar Jackson for the win, 26-23. At Baltimore. They came from the West all the way to the East to then lay the smacketh down on the Baltimore Ravens. They are 1-1. The Ravens are 0-2. Who's on top of the freaking AFC North? Is it the Steelers right now? Are the Steelers 2-0 right now? We'll get there. Okay. Rams got destroyed by the Cardinals 41-10. Kyler Murray, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns. 2 of those to Marvin Harrison Jr., who did jack Shiza against the Bills last week. James Conner, 21 for 122 and a touchdown. That game was dominated by the Cardinals in every facet of the game. Steelers, now 2-0, with Justin Fields as their starting quarterback. Beat the Broncos 13-6. That's pretty pathetic football right there. I'm glad I didn't watch much of that game. It was on a screen over here to my left, but I have 3 screens. And so that game was on my little screen, and it was abysmal. Bo Nix has no help there. His guys were dropping passes left and right. His offensive line is terrible. I'm not necessarily a Bo Nix fan, but he deserves better than that. That's rancid what they did to him. And then, of course, the Bengals Chiefs. The Chiefs win a nail-biter by 1 point as the clock expired, kicking a field goal to win 26-25. Joe Burrow, 258 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mahomes played terribly today. Was not good. Freaking 18-25, 151, 6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like it was terrible, but it was enough to get the win. It was enough to get the win. He was sacked twice for 14 yards. Joe Burrow, 23-36, 258, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But they had no running game. They had no running game at all. Zach Moss, 12 carries, 34 yards. What the hell? Now you know why he didn't make it here. They had 74 total yards rushing. 74. Chiefs had 149. Like, Pacheco by himself outran the Bengals, which isn't saying much because they only had 74 yards. Mike Gesicki had himself a little day for them. Jermaine Burton had 1 catch for 47 yards. Jamar Chase, 4 for 35. Like, they didn't do anything. This was a rather unimpressive game. It was a good game to watch. Like, it was enjoyable, but like just what they did on the field was horrible. Like, I'm supposed to be worried about them? No, I'm not. Not at all. Not at all. Because here's the thing about the Bills, right? One thing that we've seen about the Bills this year so far, because there's only one more game to be played tonight, and then there's one tomorrow night. And tonight it is the Texans and the Bears, and then tomorrow is the Falcons and the Eagles. The Eagles are probably going to stomp the Falcons unless the Falcons get their stuff together. The Bears' defense is pretty good. So that game's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens there. But one thing we know about the Bills so far, they may have downgraded, so to speak, on offense when it comes to weapons. The defense may have downgraded from Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, who are no longer in their primes, by the way. Neither here nor there. Tre'Davious White stunk up the joint in L.A. He doesn't look good at all. Hate to say it. Love me some Trey White. I love Trey White. He's one of my favorite players. His jersey rests over here somewhere. Love Trey White. One of my favorite players. He's not Trey White no more, man. He's not Trey White anymore. What am I to say about that? It is what it is. He's not himself no more. So boil that down to whatever you want to boil it down to. The Bills made the moves that they made, and situational football has become the focus of this team. And situational football has been excellent now. They've basically boiled this down to basic football. You scheme things up, You scheme things up that your guys can actually run and do. You give them assignments that they're capable of achieving. And then you allow your quarterback to decide where the ball goes on offense. And then on defense, you keep everybody fundamentally sound and just make sure that they do their 111th. That's literally all they're doing. Terrell Bernard goes down. Baylon Spector goes in. I didn't notice a freaking difference. And it's not because Baylon Spector's on the level of Terrell Bernard. It's because the coaching was able to say, hey, Baylon, this is what your window is. Stick within it, right? If you see something crazy and you got to get out of your window because running back just busted through the line, do your job. But in the passing lanes, you got from here to here. That's it. They're keeping things simple. They're keeping things situational. This situation, this is what's probably going to happen. Go with the probability. And it's working. It's working. And so I do recognize the fact that, yeah, the players that we got aren't as good as some of those we had last year. But I also recognize that the coaching is much more sound. It's much more sound right now. Ken Dorsey, who? Ken Dorsey, who? I don't. He's out there the OC for the Browns right now. And those Browns look like doo-doo. They look like they beat the Jags today, but they look like doo-doo. Browns, Deshaun Watson, 22 for 34, 5.5 yards per pass, QBR 42.4, rating 78.8. I blame more of that on Deshaun Watson than I do Ken Dorsey, but this guy's supposed to be a QB whisperer. Like what? Like this, Deshaun Watson in Houston was a pretty good player. He was a shitty human being, but he's a good player. He looks like doggy doo right now, man. You then put Joe Brady in there, and Joe Brady's got this offense humming. No problems with what's going on offense. The players are getting to choose what they want. The players are getting to choose what they're good at. You know, like, hey, I'm good at this. Let's do some of this for me. Hey, I'm pretty good at this. Let's do some of that for me. And then mix it up every now and then so that way the defense can't clue in on what you're doing. And you've got sound, fundamental team football, which, my man, John Roberts said, more of a team now. Yeah, they're more of a team now. That's even worse. But Ken Dorsey should still be the guy who's in there, like, helping draw up game plans. Ugh. If the Browns keep playing like they're playing, Stefanski might find himself out of a job, man. And he was coach of the year over Sean McDermott. Get the hell out of here, man. Get out of here. I don't want to hear none of that. Ugh. We took the Browns to the playoffs. Yeah, he had Baker Mayfield. Should have kept him, too. Because he's light years better than Deshaun Watson right now. And no baggage. Do what you will with that. No baggage comes with Baker Mayfield right now. We don't have any off the field issues with Baker Mayfield right now. The biggest thing ever Baker Mayfield is that he has an ego. Oh, snap. What quarterback doesn't have an ego? A backup quarterback. That's who. Josh Allen has an ego. Joe Burrow has an ego. Patrick Mahomes has an ego. Matt Stafford has an ego. Aaron Rodgers has one hell of an ego. Tua's got an ego, man. Tua's got an ego. He goes out there, I was reading those things. That's my bulletin board material. I mean, granted, your bulletin board now is medical, but he's got an ego. Every starting quarterback in the NFL has an ego to some degree. The least egotistical starting quarterback in the NFL that I can think of right now is Geno Smith. And even he's like, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. That's the worst I've seen from him. That's the worst I've seen from him. They wrote me off, I didn't write back. Wonderful line, Gino. Give us more. Because, they all have some of an ego. Kyler Murray's got an ego, man. Some of them deserve to have their egos. Some of them have earned the right to have an ego. And some of these dudes are bums. Some of these dudes are bums, and Deshaun Watson is one of those bums. He's a freaking bum right now. Lamar Jackson has an ego. He looks like a bum this year, too. You guys, if you've watched my show for long enough, you understand what I think of Lamar Jackson. And I don't think he's a bad person at all. I think he's a good person. I just don't think he's as good as people act like he is. He's not. He's not. He won MVP last year. Oh, he won MVP with 29 total touchdowns. No one's done that since Brady did it like 15 years ago. And the quarterbacks in the league that year weren't doing very well. Now Lamar Jackson's first MVP, I can't knock that. 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, another 8, 42 total touchdowns with only 7 turnovers. It's like 5 touchdowns per turnover. That's crazy. No, it's more than that. It's like 6.3 touchdowns per turnover. I can't get mad at Lamar Jackson's first MVP. That was well earned. 4,400 total yards on the ground and through the air. Then you add in the touchdowns. 44 touchdowns to freaking 7 turnovers. Got nothing to say about that. But ever since then, it's been downhill. It's been downhill. This year so far, Lamar Jackson, 26 completions on 41, 63% completion percentage, 273 yards in 2 games. 1 touchdown. No interceptions. Great. Sacked once. Rating of 86. Or, excuse me, 90.8. Total team rating is 86. He's got 122 rushing yards on the season right now. He's got less than 400 yards on the season. And only 1 touchdown. Yeah, he's got no rushing touchdowns. He's got 1 touchdown in 2 games. I don't see what's so special. I don't see it. So I don't know if they're counting today yet. Because I'm seeing an interception, and yeah, I don't know who threw it though, because the stat line's not showing it. It's not indicating. Let me go to Lamar Jackson here. I was on the Ravens page. So yeah, he threw an interception today. So he's got 2 touchdowns on the year. Is it 2? Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 520 passing yards. Okay, so I'm on his page now. It's giving me all of it. 520 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. How is 1 interception tied for first when Josh has 0? That's first. Rushing stats, not on here. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm just not. Maybe he'll impress me later. Lost to the freaking Raiders. Okay. I'm impressed by the Raiders right now because that Ravens defense is legit. The Ravens defense is legit. Lamar's got a QBR of 52.6 right now. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? If I pull up Josh Allen, boom. 371 passing yards on the season, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Also tied for first somehow. QBR 83.0, second in the NFL. This isn't close at this point. And Josh is doing the minimum. He's doing the minimum. Look, slice it however you want to. It is what it is. The Buffalo Bills are on a different path this year. They're not on a big stats. Let's pad the books. Let's make it look good. No, they're there. We're going to win. That's where the Buffalo Bills are at this point in time. We are going to win. I don't care if Josh throws for 90 yards. I don't care if he throws for 950 yards. I don't care if James Cook rushes for 150 yards or if James Cook rushes for 75 yards or if he rushes for 50 yards. We have another guy named Ray Davis who will take over some and help out. I don't give a damn if Dalton Kincaid has 1 catch or if he has 7 catches. I don't care if Khalil Shakir has 3 catches or if he has 10 catches. I don't care. The Buffalo Bills are on different time. They are on win time. Your stats don't matter right now, right? And we don't have a guy who can say his stats matter right now. We don't have that guy. And comment right here, proving he doesn't have to be Superman every game. Correct. He's out there beating you as Clark Kent. He's Batman right now. He's using all the tools in his belt. Grappling hook, Bat Star, like, or Bat Shuriken, whatever you want to call it. Like he's Batman right now. He's not on Superman time where he's got to go around the world so many times to reverse time to fix a screw up because of his ego. No, he's Batman right now. He's hedging all bets. This don't work, I'll do this. If that don't work, I'll do this. He's got plans. He's got plans, baby. He's Batman right now. He's not playing like Superman right now. As of right now, Josh Allen is playing like a guy who can own the goddamn Justice League. That's what it is. He can beat anybody in the Justice League. Just needs different tools for the job. And he has the tools. That's the thing. And so Superman is done right now. We don't need Superman right now. We need Batman. He's the hero we deserve. Everybody. That's my show tonight. Go Bills. I will see you guys next Sunday. I'll be doing a pregame, obviously, because guess what? We don't play till Monday. So I'll be doing like a little pregame show, hyping up the Bills, talking about the Sunday games that happened, within the division. Just going over the NFL as a whole. Probably recapping a little bit of week 2. Because, you kind of have to recap week 3. Like when you see teams who are like 2-1, like if the Raiders win next week. Wow. Okay. It is what it is, man. But yeah, it's very interesting to see how the Buffalo Bills are doing and how they're doing it. Guys, that's my show. I love each and every one of you guys. Spin, Sandra, John, I'm going up the list here. Doug, Augie, I saw you in there. Roy, Christopher, Ryan. Gregory Lennon. I haven't seen a lot of Gregory Lennon here, but thank you for being here. Bill, I am back again. Joseph A. Brereton. Thank all of you guys, every single one of you guys, and the guys I missed. Ismael Valentin, my namesake. Buy stocks. Well, it doesn't look like a bot, so I'll let him stay. But yeah, Daniel Garies. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. The Redzone Report brought to you by Monster on the Built in Buffalo YouTube, X, and Twitter or Facebook. God bless. Have a good night.